66.7. Kufikia mwaka wa 2019 hadi 2020 tulikusanya jumla ya ushuru wa trilioni 1.6. Ongezeko hili la ushuru limefanikishwa na mikakati mbalimbali ambayo KRA imeweza kutekeleza. Kwa mfano, utumiaji wa teknolojia, kuwasiliana kwa zaidi na walipa ushuru, na pia kupeleka huduma zetu karibu na walipa ushuru.
This is an impressive performance in tax collections, and it has not been by accident. It is a result of deliberate set of actions executed by the Kenya Revenue Authority, and for that, Mr. Chairman, I congratulate you, your board, and indeed the new management for the improvement and the significant improvement in voluntary tax compliance and accurate self-assessments by millions of ordinary Kenyans. And indeed, as we have noted, the administrative costs as a result for collecting these taxes has also reduced.
On our daily basis, we analyze data, taxpayers data, kuangalia vile wamelipa ushuru wao kila siku, na kupitia chenye tunaangalia kwa malipo yao, tunatuma report, daily report kwa officers ambao wanaipitia, wanaangalia kwamba wale hawajalipa wamefuata na wakalipa ushuru ipasavyo. Ndipo sasa kama authority tuweze kumita our targets that have been set. Tunafanya monitoring, kuangalia vile Wakenya wamelipa ushuru kwa different stations za Kenya Revenue Authorities, na kupitia hiyo tunapatiana feedback yenye inatumiwa kutrack the payment na kuinitiate the revenue enhancement initiative, ndio tuweze sasa kuhakikisha ya kwamba kila mtu amelipa anachotarajiwa kulipa.
Mamlaka ya KRA inatekeleza wajibu muhimu kwa kuendeleza biashara katika Jumuiya ya Afrika Mashariki. Mfumo wa kielektroniki wa kufuatilia mizigo katika kanda hii, yaani Regional Electronic Cargo Tracking System, ni baadhi ya hatua za kiteknolojia ambazo zimeinua shughuli za kibiashara kupitia mabohari ya mizigo mjini Nairobi na Naivasha pamoja na mipaka ya Kenya.
Katika KRA Customs tuna Inland Containers Depot, zile zimewekwa kupunguza msongamano katika bandari ya Mombasa, na inawezesha wafanyabiashara kuchukua mzigo wao mahali popote wanapenda. Tena tuko na one stop border post, ile tumeweka huko kusaidia wafanyabiashara na mzigo kuvuka mpaka kwa haraka.
Kwa hii room tuko kwa room ya mfumo wa REX ambayo inatumika kufuatilia magari ambayo yamebeba mizigo. Mizigo hizi ni za wateja ambao aidha wameuza nchi jirani, that is Uganda, Tanzania au Rwanda, au ambazo zimetoka nchi za nje na lazima zipite through Kenya ndio zifike nchi hizo jirani. Vile ambavyo tunaweza track hizi mizigo, the first thing is after mzigo imeshawekwa kwa gari, utapata ofisa wa customs ambaye ataenda kwenye gari na aweke kifaa ambacho kinaitwa seal kwenye gari. After the seal imeshakuwa fixed, itakuwa activated kwa center, which is sasa hapa ambapo tuko. Then from there itafuatiliwa hadi ambapo itafika tamati. Kukiwa na itilafu, ikiwa mtu ameigusa ama amejaribu kuguza hiyo seal, itatuma alarm kwa response kwa cargo monitoring unit, ambao watatuma response team waweze kufuatilia na wajue shida iko wapi. Huu mfumo una ensure mizigo za wateja hazijaribiwa njiani na pia imefika kwa wateja zikiwa salama. Kwa sababu kuna cases ambazo unapata watu wengine wenye hawana integrity watafungua hizi magari, aidha wauze hizo mizigo huku au waziharibu au hata wazi divert so that zisifike kwa wateja wanaofaa kuzipata. Mfumo huu umesaidia KRA ku seal tax loopholes ambazo way back tumekuwa tukiwa na shida za wateja wakiitisha fake tax demands. Kwa hivyo kwa muda ambao tumeutumia tumeweza ku reduce the amount of fake demands ambazo tunalipa wateja, na hivyo pia wateja ambao wanapata mizigo yao pia wameweza kufurahia, kwa sababu tumepata positive reports ya kwamba wanapata mizigo ikiwa intact na pia haijauzwa njiani.
Utoaji wa huduma kwa kutumia teknolojia katika mamlaka ya KRA umekuwa kigezo muhimu cha kukabiliana na jinamizi la ukwepaji kulipa ushuru ambalo limeinyima nchi hii mapato ya mamilioni ya fedha kwa miaka mingi.
Hapa ni command center. Tuna scan mizigo zile zimetoka ng'ambo na zile zinaenda nchi za jirani na nchi zingine mbalimbali. Hapa tunaangalia mzigo vile inakuwa scanned kule bandarini na kule ICD, Naivasha mpaka Nairobi. Alafu zile ziko na tashwishwi tunaangalia kwa makini, tunafungua, tunaangalia ndani ni nini iko ndani, lakini zile hazina makosa zozote zinaenda. Hii scanner imesaidia idara ya customs kukagua mzigo na imewezesha kuona concealment zile ziko ndani ya container, na kwa hivyo imeifanya tax evasion iwe ngumu kwa wafanyabiashara wa haramu.
There should be no room for tax evaders to thrive in Kenya. Criminal cartels like those smuggling imported taxable goods through our ports of entry ought to be easily detected and contained in the shortest possible time. Traders who operate fake electronic tax registers and pocketing the VAT that they should collect should also be brought to heel. High net worth individuals whose lifestyles are not reflective of the taxes that they pay, if any, must be compelled to demonstrate their sources of wealth and to contribute their share of taxes accordingly.
Katika department yetu tunaangalia waepukaji wa ushuru, wasiolipa ushuru, na tunajaribu ku enhance tax compliance. So tunapata profiles kutoka ya department ingine inayoitwa ISO, wakitupatia wako na information kidogo kuhusu njia wanazozitumia kuepuka ushuru. Sisi tunatumia hiyo information tunapata ku-expound na kuangalia, ku-investigate wana evade tax kwa njia ipi. Tunagaidiwa by 5 main tax laws: Tax Procedures Act, East African Customs Management Act, VAT Act of 2013 na Income Tax Act. So tunaangalia kama tunatafuta offenses zenye tunaweza tumia either ku-prosecute, kupeleka mtu kotini na ku-collect ushuru.
Ikishirikiana na mashirika mengine ya serikali, KRA imekuwa ikinasa bidhaa bandia pamoja na bidhaa nyingine zinazoagizwa na wafanyabiashara walaghai kinyume cha sheria.
Kulingana na mwito wa Rais Kenyatta kukinga wa Kenya against counterfeit goods, sisi kama idara ya customs tunakagua hayo mzigo tukishauriana na Kenya Bureau of Standards ili hizo zisifikie wananchi.
Rais Kenyatta amesisitiza kuwepo kwa njia mbadala ya kusuluhisha mizozo ya ushuru, jambo ambalo mamlaka ya KRA imeweka mikakati katika kulitekeleza.
Hakuna haja ya kutesa mtu ambaye amefanya makosa. Kama amefanya makosa kidogo, na hakuwa amefanya kwa sababu alikuwa na nia ya kuiba. Jameni, ketini, muongee, musuluhishe na tuendelee mbele. Really. We must not make every business a criminal. No, they are not. They are not criminals. We know the criminals. Yeah? They are not the criminals. So where we can sit and discuss, let us sit and discuss and find solutions and move forward.
Sisi kama KRA tumetekeleza agizo la Rais Kenyatta alivyotuagiza kwamba tujaribu kutumia huu mfumo wa ADR kusuluhisha migogoro tulionayo na wananchi wetu. Ukiangalia katika mwaka wa 2019 kufikia mwaka 2020 tulitatua kesi 284. Ukilinganisha na mwaka uliopita wa 2018 kufikia mwaka 2019 ambao tulitatua kesi 237. KRA imekuwa ikiwahamasisha wananchi kuhusu ADR kama njia mbadala ya kutatua migogoro inayotokana na ulipaji wa ushuru badala ya kufuata mkondo wa kwenda mahakamani ambao kwa mara nyingi una changamoto zake. Na kutokana na takwimu zetu tumeona kwamba kwa zaidi wananchi wamekumbatia huu mfumo wa ADR.
Wakati mzozo unapotokea, huwa wale ambao wamepatikana na hiyo shida wanakuja kwetu katika ile nia au lengo la kutaka kutatua mizozo yao. Na basi tunapopata kesi hiyo, huwa tunauliza yule ofisa ambaye alitoa jambo hilo, ambaye anaitwa kama commissioner, kama naye pia anataka kuwa katika shughuli hiyo ya kusuluhisha mizozo. Basi anapokubali na mlipa ushuru pia amekubali, huwa tunawaita pamoja katika meza ambayo tunaita mediation table. So wanapokuja, kila upande unatoa masuala yao. Mlipa ushuru anasema ni kwa nini hakubaliani na vile commissioner amesema, na vile commissioner pia anasema ni misingi ipi alitumia kufikia kwamba kusema mlipa ushuru huyu anapaswa kulipa kiwango fulani cha fedha, ama ni kosa fulani amefanya, ndipo basi tunamdai pesa fulani. Kwa hivyo wanapokuja kwenye meza, huwa tunaangalia pande zote mbili, na niseme kwamba sio sisi tunawapa suluhu. Suluhu linapatikana kwao, kwamba commissioner atasema yake, mlipa ushuru atasema yake, alafu tunawaleta pamoja. Bila unavyojua kwamba mediator hatoi suluhu, ni suluhu linapatikana kati ya hao wawili. Kwa hivyo watasema yao, mlipa ushuru atasema yake, alafu tukimalizia tunapata kwamba wamekubaliana. Lengo letu ni kwamba tuwe na makubaliano, ile pesa ambayo mlipa ushuru anapaswa kulipa alipe. Kama commissioner ameitisha pesa ambazo mlipa ushuru hapaswi kulipa, basi anatupilia mbali. Mazungumzo yetu tukimaliza, hakuna mtu atajua. Kwa hivyo mazungumzo yetu kwa kimombo tunaita without prejudice, kwamba haitatumika mahala pengine popote, itaishia papo hapo. Jambo la pili ni kwamba hakuna pesa unaitishwa, haulipi chochote. Ukienda kotini utalipa ile inaitwa filing fees. Ukienda kwenye ile tunaita Tax Appeals Tribunal, kuna filing fees. Kabla uanze unalipa 20,000 za Kenya. Ukikuja kwenye ADR ni bila malipo, haulipi chochote.
Unapopiga simu au kutuma barua pepe kutafuta huduma za KRA, fahamu kuwa sio mashine au roboti zinazokujibu.
The amount would be 47,556. So I can generate and you can pay using one payment registration number. So would you like to pay through M-Pesa or through the bank?
Mbali ni vijana barubaru ambao wamepata fursa ya kufanya kazi katika kitengo cha mawasiliano cha KRA.
Hiki ni kituo ambacho kinatoa huduma ya mawasiliano kwa wateja wetu wenye tabaka tofauti tofauti, kama vile maswali kuhusu mambo ya forodha ama customs, mambo ya domestic taxes, kodi, na masuala mengine kama PIN amendments. Zote tunashughulikia wateja wetu, hatubagui wateja wetu. Katika contact center tuna sehemu tofauti. Sehemu inayoshughulikia na kupiga simu nje ijulikanayo kama outbound, sehemu inayopokea simu ijulikanayo kama inbound, sehemu inayoshughulikia barua pepe ama emails, na pia tuna social media engagements. Vile tunaweza shughulikia wateja face to face, ila kutokana na mkurupuko wa ugonjwa wa COVID-19 tunawahimiza wateja wetu kutumia njia mbadala kama vile kutuma barua pepe ama email, kutumia Facebook na hata chats. Maafisa wetu wamefunzwa kosi tofauti ikiwemo kosi kuu kuwa wanapojiunga na contact center, wao pia huhimizwa kujiunga na chuo kikuu cha Kenya School of Revenue Administration, ambako huko wao hupata mafunzo mengi kuhusu mambo ya customs, mambo ya domestic taxes na jinsi ya kushughulika na wateja tofauti. Mimi nimejifunza mengi kufanya kazi hapa. Najua kwamba kule nje watu wanafikiri labda ni robots zinafanya hizi kazi ama ni sauti zimekuwa automated, lakini ni binadamu ambao tunashughulika nao, ambao tumepitia mafunzo tofauti jinsi ya kushughulika na wateja wetu. Inclusion yetu kama vijana age ndogo katika call center inafanya tunapata kunakuwa na ile customer engagement inakuwa high. Unajua kushughulika na wateja, hasa tukiona kwamba wengi wanatumia njia za kisasa za mawasiliano kama vile mitandao ya kijamii ama social media. Inatufanya kazi yetu pia inakuwa rahisi, na pia wale wateja wetu ambao wengi wao pia ni hii age inakuwa rahisi kushughulika nao.
KRA pia imekuwa ikitekeleza maagizo ya Rais Kenyatta ya kuwapunguzia walipa ushuru mzigo wakati huu taifa hili linapopambana na janga la korona.
Kama mamlaka inayohusika na masuala ya ushuru, KRA imekuwa katika mstari wa mbele kuhakikisha kuwa mikakati iliyowekwa na Rais Kenyatta katika hiki kipindi cha janga la korona inatekelezwa. Pindi tu hii mikakati ilipotiwa sahihi na rais, KRA imeendelea kuhamasisha wananchi wetu. Kama kutakuwa na mabadiliko kwenye hii mikakati, KRA itaendelea kuwahamasisha wananchi wetu ipasavyo.
Mabadiliko kadhaa yanayotekelezwa katika mamlaka ya KRA yanatarajiwa kusaidia serikali kufikia malengo yake ya kukusanya ushuru, uwekezaji ukiendelea kufanyika katika sekta mbalimbali za uchumi humu nchini kwa kuunga mkono ajenda kuu ya maendeleo ya Rais Kenyatta. Huku KRA ikiadhimisha miaka 25 ya kuwahudumia Wakenya, mabadiliko mengi katika mamlaka hiyo bado yanaendelea kutimizwa ili kuziba mianya yote ya ukwepaji kulipa ushuru kwa manufaa ya kila mwananchi.
Nieleze ya kwamba wajibu wa KRA ni kukusanya ushuru na kuhakikisha kwamba tumeuokota ushuru wote ambao tunaweza kuokota. Tumeukusanya, kila mtu amelipa sehemu yake ambao anastahili kulipa. Na tutaendelea kufanya hivyo kwa bidii kwa sababu hiyo ndio kazi yetu. Pia tutaendelea kufanya kazi na serikali kuhakikisha kwamba ushuru ule umetumiwa vizuri na wananchi wameweza kupata huduma ambazo wanastahili. Kwa hivyo hatuachi tu kwa kuokota, lakini pia sisi tuko katika serikali na tunajua ya kwamba tunapookota ushuru na unatumiwa vizuri, Wakenya watapata huduma. Kwa hivyo ahadi yetu kwa Wakenya ni ya kwamba wanapotoa ushuru wasiwe na wasiwasi. Manake kuna serikali ambao itahakikisha kwamba ushuru wao umetumiwa vizuri. Kwa hivyo ningetaka kuwasihi Wakenya wenzangu kwamba tulipe ushuru, tujitegemee.
The Kenya Revenue Authority has over the years dedicated the month of October as the Taxpayers Month. In this month, KRA honors and appreciates all taxpayers for their invaluable contribution to our national development and progress through payment of taxes. The Taxpayers Month involves various activities including the Customer Service Week, Taxpayer Appreciation Visits, the Annual Tax Summit, the Corporate Social Responsibility Program, and finally, the Taxpayers Day, to which we celebrate today. The day is hosted by His Excellency the President of the Republic of Kenya every year in honor of the distinguished taxpayers. This year's Taxpayers Day is like no other. KRA celebrates your resilience in paying and filing your taxes amidst the COVID-19 pandemic. KRA recognizes this patriotism and commits to continue partnering with you. Ladies and gentlemen, the Kenya and the East Africa Community Anthem.
Afrika Mashariki, tuwezeshe kuishi kwa amani, tutimize na malengo yetu. Jumuiya yetu sote tuilinde, tuajibike, tuimarike. Umoja wetu ni nguzo yetu, idumu jumuiya yetu. Uzalendo pia mshikamano viwe msingi wa umoja wetu, na tulinde uhuru na amani, mila zetu na desturi zetu. Jumuiya yetu sote tuilinde, tuajibike, tuimarike. Umoja wetu ni nguzo yetu, idumu jumuiya yetu. Viwandani na hata mashambani, tufanye kazi sote kwa makini, tujitoe kwa hali na mali, tuijenge jumuiya bora. Jumuiya yetu sote tuilinde, tuajibike, tuimarike. Umoja wetu ni nguzo yetu, idumu jumuiya yetu.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Honorable Uhuru Kenyatta, and our esteemed taxpayers, KRA has the pleasure to welcome you to the Taxpayers Day celebration. We now welcome the Kenya Revenue Authority Commissioner General, Mr. Gedhimboro, to make his remarks.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Honorable Uhuru Kenyatta, the Cabinet Secretary for the National Treasury and Planning, Honorable Ambassador Ukuli Atani, the Chairman and members of the KRA Board, KRA staff, chairpersons and chief executive officers of various associations, our distinguished taxpayers, ladies and gentlemen. Your Excellency, sir, on behalf of the Kenya Revenue Authority staff, I wish to express our gratitude for gracing this very important event in our calendar. Despite the unique circumstances presented by the COVID-19 pandemic, celebrating our taxpayers remains an important highlight in our transformation journey. The main objective of this occasion is to recognize taxpayers from various sectors of our economy for their contribution towards nation building. Recognition and appreciation of taxpayers is premised on the belief that a person who feels appreciated will always do more than what is expected. Indeed, we are positive that there is equity when each citizen voluntarily pays his or her rightful share of taxes. This year's celebration is anchored on the theme, Enhancing Tax Administration for Economic Sustainability. The theme resonates well with the redefined role of a modern tax administration such as ours. Your Excellency, sir, as a tax administration, our role goes beyond revenue collection to creating a more conducive environment in which the revenues are generated. To this end, we have continued to combat illicit trade to ensure that all entrepreneurs in Kenya enjoy a fair playing field and ensure equity in tax revenue contribution to the exchequer. Our investment in scanners and regional electronic cargo tracking, with your support, Your Excellency, has improved movement of cargo at the key ports and across our territory and significantly reduced dumping of transit cargo to the local market. Your Excellency, despite the adverse effects of the COVID-19 pandemic, which were specifically felt in the last quarter of the financial year 2019-2020, we can see signs of significant recovery of the economy. We have witnessed an upward trend in revenue performance from a performance of 62% in May 2020 to 93% in September 2020. This confirms that the level of productive economic activity has increased and Kenyans are now able to generate income from which we collect taxes. Oil import volumes have recovered from a decline of 23.2% in the fourth quarter of 2019-20 to a growth of 10.1% in the first quarter of 2020-21. This growth has had a positive impact on petroleum taxes. The number of containers imported has also improved from a decline of 34% in May 2020 to a growth of 20% in September 2020, signaling an improvement in the global trade. To continue improving this performance, KRA is actively validating information declared by taxpayers to ensure that no taxes are understated. We have also put in place intelligence and data-driven approaches of identifying tax revenue loopholes through our iTax system and third-party data matching. Our tax-based expansion initiatives, including the preparatory plans for the digital service tax rollout early next year, are also on course. Your Excellency, as I conclude, I would like to commend all compliant taxpayers who, despite the economic slowdown occasioned by the COVID-19 pandemic, have continued to honor their tax obligations. I also commend the hard-working KRA staff who continue to diligently perform their duties to assure this country of economic sustainability. It is now my pleasure to invite the Chairman of the Kenya Revenue Authority Board, Ambassador Francis Modhaura, to make his remarks. Thank you.
Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya and the Commander-in-Chief of the Kenya Defense Forces, Cabinet Secretary, National Treasury, KRA Board of Directors, Commissioner General, Commissioners present, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you all to today's Taxpayers Award ceremony. Taxpayers are at the core of the success of the government. It is through their hard work and determination that we get to build the nation. For the last 25 years, KRA has demonstrated its capability to sustain the country's economy through efficient collection of taxes. As of now, the cumulative revenue collection has grown enormously from Kenya shillings 93 billion in the year 2013-2014 to Kenya shillings 1 trillion and 600 billion in the financial year 2019-2020. On behalf of the KRA Board of Directors and the staff, I would like to assure Your Excellency, the President, and all Kenyans that KRA will strive to achieve higher performance. We remain committed to enhancing the services to meet public expectations in tax administration. To achieve this, we have put in place various strategic measures which range from technological advancements to enhanced capacity. In regard to leveraging on modern technology, KRA is arguably one of the most advanced tax administrations in the region. The most recent technology we have introduced in the delivery of our mandate is the M-Service mobile application. The application will go a long way in enhancing convenience and simplicity in the tax administration. Other strategic measures implemented to boost the delivery of our mandate going forward include the revamped staff performance and integrity monitoring framework. The iWhistle anonymous reporting system, which will be launched today, will enhance our nation's effort to weed out corruption. Over the last 1 year, KRA has adopted a results-driven staff performance framework, which has gone a long way in improving overall corporate performance. Within the same year, KRA Board of Directors, with the support of the National Treasury, instituted a raft of measures aimed at enhancing staff morale. These include, but not limited to, improving the terms of service across all ranks in the organization. With this and many more measures in place, we reaffirm our commitment in supporting the development agenda of this great nation.
Simama, Wakenya wote simama. Simama, wewe shujaa simama. Nchi yangu, jukumu langu, mimi ni shujaa, shujaa. Najivunia taifa langu, mimi ni shujaa, shujaa. Simama, Wakenya wote simama.
kazi plus na bidii, tunapambana sana kuijenga jamii. Iwe ni jua kali hatujali, Kenya ni nyumbani na sihami.
Bidii yangu, jukumu langu, naijenga nchi yangu. Hatuchagui kazi, kazi ni kazi. Boda boda, vijana mitaani.
Kenya yetu ya amani na umoja, upendo, hakuna lingine. Acha Mungu atulinde, atuzingira, tuhifadhi milele.
Nchi yangu, jukumu langu, mimi ni shujaa, shujaa. Najivunia taifa langu, mimi ni shujaa, shujaa. Simama Wakenya wote, simama. Simama wewe shujaa, simama. Simama Wakenya wote, simama. Simama wewe shujaa, simama.
Ukabila ni mbaya, ndo maana na upinga. Shujaa namba moja, nchi yangu nailinda. Tunapenda amani, upendo na haki. Tumetoka kwa giza, twaishi kwa mwanga. Wanamuziki ni shujaa, walimu wote ni shujaa, madaktari ni shujaa, na wachimba migodi ni shujaa, wavuvi nao ni shujaa, wanariadha ni shujaa, wachezaji wote ni shujaa, bam 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 ni shujaa, wewe dereva ni shujaa, wana boda boda ni shujaa, hata mama mboga ni shujaa, askari nao ni shujaa, ni shujaa, ni shujaa, wanafanya bidii ni shujaa, wana biashara ni shujaa, shujaa.
Nchi yangu, jukumu langu, mimi ni shujaa, shujaa. Najivunia taifa langu, mimi ni shujaa, shujaa. Simama Wakenya wote, simama. Songe pamoja, simama wewe shujaa, simama. Simama Wakenya wote, simama. Simama wewe shujaa, simama. Wewe shujaa.
It is now my pleasure to invite the Cabinet Secretary, National Treasury and Planning, the Honorable Ambassador Uku Yatani, to make his remarks. I thank you.
His Excellency Honorable Uhuru Kenyatta, President of the Republic of Kenya and Commander-in-Chief of the Kenya Defence Forces, management and staff of the Kenya Revenue Authority, distinguished taxpayers, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Your Excellency, on behalf of the National Treasury and Planning and Kenya Revenue Authority, I wish to express our gratitude for accepting to preside over this significant event in our annual calendar. Today, we honor and reward distinguished and patriotic taxpayers from various sectors of our economy. Taxpayers Day is not only a day to recognize taxpayers, but also the culmination of the annual Taxpayers Month, a key platform for reflecting on the state of KRA-taxpayers relationship. This event, therefore, remains very dear to us. Your Excellency, the outbreak and the rapid spread of the COVID-19 pandemic and the ensuing containment measures that have devastated global economies. The Kenyan economy was not spared either. I must add that positively, under your leadership, Your Excellency, we indeed moved swiftly and implemented measures to cushion Kenyans and businesses from the adverse impact of the pandemic. While the economy contracted in the second quarter of 2020, we instituted broad measures to enhance economic activity beginning in July by rolling out the economic stimulus program. To this effect, the leading indicators show commendable recovery in most sectors as a result of the reopening of the economy at the beginning of this quarter. On the revenue side, the government has implemented progressive revenue enhancement initiatives that have led to more than double revenue collection since 2013. In the just concluded financial year 2019-2020, revenue collected amounted to Kenya shillings 1.6 trillion, which was a strong performance given the challenge of COVID-19 pandemic. Going forward, we are optimistic that more revenues will be realized as business activities and the general economy picks up. It is indeed expected that the revenue growth will be in part supported by the full implementation of the fiscal and tax policy measures. One of these policies is the introduction of a digital service tax, which takes effect on 1st January 2021. Factors such as prevailing COVID-19 pandemic have forced businesses to re-engineer their business models from the traditional shops to online shops supported by modern technology. This has necessitated a review in tax administration framework to align it to this new phenomenon. Your Excellency, digital service tax is part of the elaborate tax-based expansion plan we have put in place, which indeed comes handy in casting our tax net wider to mobilize more resources to fund our development agenda. Additionally, we project to enhance revenue collection through voluntary tax disclosure program with effect from 1st of January 2021. This program is expected to run for 3 years. Your Excellency, to further boost revenue collection, we introduced the minimum tax at the rate of 1% on the gross business turnover, which will be remitted quarterly. Working closely with KRA, we are working on diverse revenue enhancement measures that includes 1, leveraging on information technology to improve efficiency in revenue collection through use of third-party data. 2, automation of processes to improve value-added tax collection. 3, comprehensive audit of exemptions to identify multiple uses of single exemption and make relevant tax demands. And 4thly, integration of government systems to allow for the third-party data matching to improve service delivery. In conclusion, Your Excellency, I wish to assure you that we remain committed to growing our revenue sustainably in order to enable government fund critical priority programs as and when required. Your Excellency, it is now my honor and pleasure to request you to launch a unique corruption and tax fraud reporting platform named iWhistle.
There is a new whistle in town, a new whistle that rallies Kenyans to anonymously report incidences of tax-related offences, bribery, concealment, abuse of office, conflict of interest, fraud, diversion of goods, and tax evasion. Simply visit www.iwhistle.kra.go.ke to create a new account and follow the instructions. Once you've successfully logged in, select the tax-related offense you want to anonymously report from the list, fill in the form, and select Submit. A KRA official will receive and act on your complaint confidentially. Ensure you don't lose your username. You will be able to log into your account again to follow up on the progress of the whistle you reported or even report again.
Your Excellency, allow me to present to you the distinguished taxpayers for the financial year 2019-2020.
Your Excellency the President, the following taxpayers are presented for the Presidential Distinguished Taxpayers Award for the year 2019-2020. Top Public Sector Agency. This award is presented to a public entity that has demonstrated highest levels of tax compliance through consistent filing across all tax heads and paid the highest amount of taxes relative to other government agencies. Top Authorized Economic Operator Importers. Your Excellency, this award is conferred upon the taxpayer registered in the Preferential Customs Clearing Program as an authorized economic operator who has demonstrated consistent compliance with customs laws and procedures and has also paid the highest taxes. Top Importers One-Stop Border Post. Your Excellency, this award is conferred upon the taxpayer who paid the highest taxes at border points across the country. Top Importers Mombasa and Container Freight Station. Your Excellency, this category is dedicated to the taxpayer who has demonstrated highest levels of compliance with customs laws and paid the highest taxes in Mombasa Customs Territory, comprising the Port of Mombasa and the Container Freight Station. Top Importers, the Inland Container Depot and Airport. Your Excellency, this award is dedicated to the taxpayer who demonstrated highest levels of compliance with customs laws and paid the highest taxes in the Nairobi Customs Territory, comprising the Inland Container Depot, Nairobi, and Airport. Government Partner Agency of the Year. Your Excellency, this category of awards is dedicated to the government agency that has consistently collaborated and partnered with KRA in facilitating key administration tax compliance and enforcement initiatives within the financial year. Highest growth. Your Excellency, this award is presented to the taxpayer who has the highest revenue growth relative to turnover. This is percentage growth over the previous financial period. Highest growth, medium. Highest growth, regions. Highest yield. Your Excellency, this award is conferred upon the taxpayer who paid the highest corporation tax relative to the turnover. The taxpayer in this category has the highest absolute amount of taxes paid relative to taxpayers of similar turnover. Highest yield, large. Highest yield, medium. Highest yield, regions. Monthly rental income category. Your Excellency, this award is dedicated to an individual taxpayer who remitted the highest amount and exhibited exceptional commitment in paying and filing of the monthly rental income taxes. Taxpayer Regions category. Your Excellency, this category recognizes the leading taxpayers in the 6 respective tax administration regions of Kenya who have registered highest taxes and demonstrated full voluntary compliance across all tax heads. The Western region. The North Rift region. The South Rift region. The Central region. The Northern region. Top taxpayer category. Your Excellency, this award is dedicated to the taxpayer who is the leading payer of corporation tax in the country and has demonstrated highest tax revenue and exceptional compliance in payment and filing across all tax heads. Top taxpayer, Nairobi region. Top taxpayer, large.
My name is Rosemary Mureithi. I work for Kenya Revenue Authority, Customs and Border Control Department, Internal Container Depot Embakasi. We have seen government investing a lot for Kenya Revenue Authority. We have scanners that have come in. These scanners are to help us reduce intrusive methods of verification. They help us to be able to know what is in the container before they come in. It takes 6 seconds to scan the container, and it has made our work easier. So we have seen that process moving to what we used to have, that it used to take about 2 weeks in Mombasa. And in Mombasa, some of the owners of those containers were sitting in Nairobi. So they'd have to incur a cost, which was quite high, of bringing the containers all the way from Mombasa to come to their destination where they are here in Nairobi. So it is easier, it is faster, it is more secure for them to get their goods through here, and the goods are taking a shorter time. I'm sure our traders are happy. It has brought down the cost of doing business in this country. It has attracted investors. If you look at the number that of importation that used to come in, it has increased by a very big percentage. What we receive here, 70% is raw material. More manufacturers are encouraged to bring their raw materials and do their manufacturing here, vis-a-vis bringing in finished products for sale.
And finally, Your Excellency, it is now my humble duty to invite you to address the taxpayers, and I wish to thank you.
Distinguished taxpayers, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to join you today on this 17th edition of the Kenya Revenue Authority's Distinguished Taxpayers Award Ceremony. Indeed, I take this very early opportunity to congratulate all the taxpayers that we are recognizing today, as well as those other compliant taxpayers whose high sense of civic duty and fidelity to the tax laws is indeed the backbone of our nation. Ladies and gentlemen, last financial year, 2019-20, the National Exchequer received tax revenue amounting to slightly over 1.6 trillion Kenya shillings, registering a growth of 1.7% over the previous financial year. given the reduced level of economic activity associated largely with the novel coronavirus, this growth in our revenue was indeed impressive. The question we should ask ourselves is, how did we as a country manage to grow our tax revenue when the economic environment was under such stress? The answer, I believe, fellow Kenyans, is simple. It was due to the dedication and love for the country on the part of our taxpayers, combined with the hard work and diligence of the Kenya Revenue Authority team. For this, I wish to salute all of you for your patriotism. Ladies and gentlemen, the National Exchequer is the vehicle through which we fund development programs that would lead to the realization of our shared national aspirations as well as our sovereignty. Paying your full share of tax voluntarily, without coercion, ensures that our borders are secure, our hospitals are equipped, our roads are properly maintained and functional, and that the freedoms that we enjoy as a people are maintained. Despite the ongoing challenges arising from the COVID-19 pandemic, KRA has maintained its tradition of excellence in tax administration, coupled with commendably high levels of voluntary compliance on the part of taxpayers. This has afforded us the funds to stave off the worst of the pandemic's social and economic effects, and to put in place comprehensive measures to protect the most vulnerable members of our society. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to note some of the measures that the Kenya Revenue Authority has taken to ensure that its relationship with the taxpayer is not adversarial or fraught with antagonism, for it is KRA's solemn duty to facilitate economic activity, trade, and our shared prosperity. To support the authority in delivering its mandate in a manner that is not antagonistic with its tax clients, since the beginning of my administration, we have facilitated a program of digitization within KRA. Under this program, the authority has adopted innovations such as the hugely successful iTax platform and the recently launched M-Service app that enables a taxpayer to pay their taxes through mobile devices. Taxpayers now do not need to travel long distances or rely on third-party support vendors to fulfill their tax obligations. I also want to commend KRA on the launch of iWhistle, an online platform that enables the public to report on tax malpractices, including fraud, concealment, and unethical behavior by some KRA staff. This marks another milestone in the entrenching ethos of good governance as part of our social fabric and as part of the fight against corruption and tax evasion. The web-based system will ensure that incidences of tax evasion by taxpayers or unethical conduct by some KRA staff are recorded and confidentially investigated and acted upon. This will improve the trust and confidence of the taxpayers in the tax system, as well as allowing the state to dramatically reduce revenue leakages and recover taxes that would otherwise have been lost. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a good reason for us to boost the utilization of this iWhistle system. And in this regard, Today I direct that the National Treasury and the Kenya Revenue Authority amend the Informer Award Scheme to increase the reward amount from a current maximum of 2 million Kenya shillings to 5 million Kenya shillings. I also urge KRA and its partners in the multi-agency framework to maintain their vigilance against tax evasion schemes, particularly those designed and orchestrated by professional service providers and financial institutions. Ladies and gentlemen, the implementation of the scanner program to reduce intrusive interventions and the deployment of regional electronic tracking systems have been instrumental in improving our trade facilitation indicators. This investment in automation of business processes within tax administration has greatly expedited clearance processes and dramatically reduced revenue leakages at our ports. As a government, we have put in place a multi-agency framework, which KRA is a member, to fight smuggling and counterfeits. This not only secures Kenyan livelihoods, but also protects our people from harmful products. And I urge the Kenya Revenue Authority to step up its efforts in that regard and to work even closer with its multi-agency partners. Ladies and gentlemen, in addition, the progress made in fostering an alternative dispute resolution approach for tax disputes is also highly commendable. This has resulted in KRA experiencing a 20% growth in alternative dispute resolution in the last financial year, a sign that trust and facilitation is now at the center stage of dispute resolution in tax matters. In the last financial year, alternative dispute resolution realized revenue of Kenya shillings 9.561 billion compared to Kenya shillings 8.102 billion booked in the previous financial year, representing an 18% growth in revenue. As a nation proud of its vibrant access to justice and extensive fair hearing rights, we will never move to limit the rights of our taxpayers to have their disputes against tax assessment heard and determined by an independent third party. As we do so, we must also ensure that those cases are determined quickly, while also ensuring that alternative dispute resolution is not used to delay the payment of taxes that are legally due and payable. I therefore direct that the National Treasury, together with the Attorney General's Office, to move to review the legal operational framework of the Tax Appeal Tribunal and the onward appeals to superior courts, as well as the provision of the Tax Procedures Act, so as to ensure that tax disputes are resolved in an even more efficient and expedited manner. Ladies and gentlemen, as I conclude, I once again warmly congratulate all the distinguished taxpayers of Kenya, those that we are recognizing today, but also all the others for their commitment to their motherland and to our fundamental ideals. I also commend our National Treasury and the Kenya Revenue Authority for the role that they have played in enhancing domestic resource mobilization in support of our development agenda. However, even as we commend you, we must appreciate the fact that we are still far from reaching the promised land under the National Vision 2030. And in this regard, I challenge you to work even harder, reinforcing this agenda through innovation, staff motivation, business and taxpayer facilitation, and sealing of avenues for revenue leakage. This way, together, we will reach the promised land sooner rather than later. Hongera kwa kulipa ushuru. I thank you all, and may God bless you, and may God bless Kenya. Thank you very much.
Amani na uhuru.
Ustawi, amkeni ndugu zetu. Tufanye sote bidii,
Nasi tujitoe kwa nguvu.
tunayoipenda,
Tuwe tayari kuilinda.